So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that? And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purposes.
Hi everybody, Martha here, and I'm a little late with this news, but I'm there's Scott has done another news on his movie, on the movie Five Nights at Freddy's. So and so this is what it says. I probably won't read it all, but I'll read some of it because it's pretty long. So Scott says, "Hi everyone. Before we get to the bad news, contacting the state of Five Nights at Freddy's of the movie, I want to share a brief history of FNAF's screenplay. It's been a long road to take a look at some of the screenplays we have gone through over the years. In no part, um, party order, or feels free to skip to the end really quick to see the bad news, then come back to enjoy the list. Some of these came from the big studios, some from the big directors, some from me, and some from other hired writers. I gave the screenplays a name, include a brief synopsis that ultimately leads to each screenplays being rejected. Let's start. The F screenplay basically makes a setup. The group of teenager troublemakers break into Freddy's. Chaos resumes. Troubles? Although pretty basic upset, there was a lot of odd choices here, which only is weirder as the stories continued. The story ended up our production in a secret underground um animatronic factory that was decided of robots for the government. Phallic what the frick? Stayed too far away from the source's material. Toss. Second screenplay, the Plus Takes Manhattan screenplay. Basic setup. Plus takes Manhattan. Troubles. Pluses took Manhattan. Verdict. Burn to fire with fire. So, well, the first one sounds pretty good. The second one, are you serious? I don't. That doesn't like. It's like a bad version of Muppets. The second one. Scott, you joking? So, I mean, I don't mind teenagers breaking into a Five Nights at Freddy's. That one sounds pretty good, but okay. The second one, all right. I think sometimes he's just joking. You're funny, Scott. Now for the for the third one, the random Charlie scream setup. Charlie and friends break into Freddy's after the retired lost toy. Problems: sharing names with familiar characters from the series. These characters have nothing to do with the games. The book's counterparts. So while the familiar faces element the game seem too loosely based on the games, the lots of it impacts because of it. Verdict: felt random bags of FNAF elements with no real stakes. Meh. Yeah, because really Charlie's supposed to be um in high school, so her going mad about a toy being lost in a restaurant doesn't sound like something a high school girl were worried about. So yeah, I can understand why he would say meh. Okay, so let's get on with the fourth one. The Silver Eye screenplay. Basic setup. Kai and I both worked on the version of the Silver Eye screenplay over a couple of about a year, trying to find the right way to adapt to the from story to the from the first book. Problems. These were the first attempts I made myself to write the screenplay after reading, going to the difficulty to find someone else to understand lore well enough to do it. Unfortunately, it meant the screenplay suffered greatly from my experience of the writing, your experience of writing. Even Kaya, with her experience writing, didn't seem couldn't save it. Verdict: although they had some good elements, ultimately decided to force to make the screenplay from the games, not from the books. Yeah, because they're completely different stories. Because in the books we follow the perspective of the kids, not of the characters. Where you in the games we're used to follow the perspective of the night guards. So yeah, I can see what he's saying that both of them are ultimately different storytelling. So let's get on to the next screenplay. The Pawn Shop screenplay. Basic setup. A kid who watched after the pawn shop finds trouble when animated animatronics is brought in. It turns out that Freddy's has been robbed, and the animatronics were taken to different locations for sale. And the other animatronics were retired to the prop shop, and the kid and his friends get roped into the venture. Problems: a creative um, um, adaptation, but it felt little too much like a boy with his animatronics. Too much after school adventure, not enough horrors. Verdict: like seems like a good idea at time. Yeah, I can get that. It sounds too much like a little kids like a movie for kids, not meant for horror. And this is supposed to be a game, horror movie, not something should watch. So yeah, I can understand why you said no to that one. Okay, so what's going on in the next screenplay? Casey's screenplay setup, basic setup, diving deep into seams, packing a lot of lore, following the story of Casey. Problems: but handing problems, many periods, following multiple characters, featuring lores from multiple games. It's pretty static of to fault. Have been satisfying to most hardcore fans, but it would have left major people confused and lost. Hey, wait, maybe this was most of the according to the screenplay. Verdict: ultimately, the virus it's insurance movie is just wasn't as satisfying even for me. Out. Yeah, because Casey is only is mostly one character, because if you don't know who Casey is, she's basically what I will think is Golden Freddy. So that would basically, so he's kind of here he's kind of saying things that are actually true by telling us I'm bringing these characters up. So yeah, let's get on to the next one. The Mischief Kids screenplay. Basic setup. Single mom brings her kid to at the new town. Kids find Freddy's hilarious and assumes problems. The one problem is creative of modern day with old Freddy's setup. Finding a way to connect to protagonists to the restaurant and finding a reason to be there and finding a reason to stay there for them to stay. Problem with the reason that this kid goes to Freddy's is misadventures and was too dependent and too force. Verdict: not bad, but didn't work. I don't care about the characters. Then a good chance that no one else will either pass. So yeah, wait. Here's what I spent. This is this is going to be a screenplay for a while because I didn't have any serious flaws. Ultimately, I decided it wasn't any good enough, though. So, yeah, I can understand. If he doesn't like it, nobody else will. But he doesn't want the movie to have to do has to be about Freddy's and his friends and the other animatronics. So yeah, I can understand that. So here we go. Ghost the Ghost Tracker screen play basic setup. A group of amateurish ghost trackers sneak into abandoned Freddy's. Problems. Although a very common scene setup is sort of a movie, it's a problem again that birds how to give these characters connection to Freddy's itself. It what ends in happening. Too much of the story went out backstories to the own hardships. It was spot on. Anyway, from the story and Freddy's verdict. A stronger connection between protagonist Freddy's and was needed. Lesson learned. Yep. Stop focusing on the humans and focus on the monsters. Okay? That's what we're here for. So here we go. We got two more left, guys. So yeah, the Insanity screenplay, the basic setup. Another Ghost Tracker verdict was involved the Funtime Freddy's underground basic tunnels and amateur and marionette out for revenge. Problem: some other screenplay verdict went too far into the venture and went too far into action. Verdict: too overplayed, too many characters, and too many things. Yep, there's too much to. There's too sometimes less is more basically with that one. So last one. Okay, this Mike screenplay picks a setup. Makes sense. Didn't think about this one before. Problems? Actually, it's a good mix. It has the best pieces from the previous screenplays. Not really any problems here. All the right characters and all the right motives and all the right stakes. Verdict: we're going with this one. It's fun, it's scary, and it's the great certain story. Yep. So we're gonna go with now we know who the reason why it's great to have Mike because of most of the time the security guard was Mike. So yep, it makes sense for them to have a screenplay named Mike. So yep, I like this idea. Good job, Scott. All right, on to bad news. The bad news it was won't be any more screenplays to add to the list since we officially made Mike the screenplay. Film starts in the spring, so that means they're going to start filming next year. So yeah, I can't wait. They still not decided who's the actors are and stuff like that, but and how they're going to do on how they're going to do Freddy's and the other animatronics. I kind of hope they will make them actually animatronics in the movie and not CGI'd because mm, it's the it's how they are in the game. So and I may find a way to make it more scary the CGI stuff. So yep, there's your guys' news. See you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And bye bye.